Welcome to another episode of Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by Iron Mag Labs, the most hardcore bodybuilding supplements on the market. I'm your host, Dave Palumbo, and I'm here to bring you all the latest news in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. It's Thursday, September 25th, 2014, and on today's show, Ronnie Raquel, 10 days out, IFBB Korea Grand Prix, Heavy Muscle Radio, Kai's new career, and what would you do to get Arnold to come to your place of business? All that and much, much more only on Muscle in the Morning. The IFBB EVLS Prague Pro is just 1 week away, and we're going to get a chance to see which Olympia athletes can hold their conditioning and continue building momentum as we approach the home stretch of the 2014 IFBB contest season. One athlete who wasn't on the Olympia stage this past weekend is Germany's Ronnie Raquel. Raquel has been conspicuously absent from the contest scene this past year, but judging by his recent photos, it looks like he's put his time off to good use. Raquel has already proven that when he's on his game, he's easily one of the best in the world. But whether or not he has the ability to recapture the look that made him one of the IFBB's best just a few short years ago still remains to be seen. The heavy hitters from the 212 Olympia division are set to take the stage once again as the bodybuilding world travels literally across the world to take part in the 2014 IFBB Korea Grand Prix. The show is set up a rematch between three-time 212 Olympia champ Flex Lewis and Olympia runner-up Eduardo Correa, who many thought was the most conditioned Olympia athlete on that stage. The show will also provide a second chance for Guy Cisternino and Baito Abaspor to be compared against Lewis and company after both were grossly overlooked in Las Vegas. In case you missed it, be sure to catch the latest edition of Heavy Muscle Radio, recorded live from Las Vegas, Nevada, featuring Chris Aceto and yours truly as we recap all the action from the 50th anniversary Olympia weekend. Did Phil Heath deserve to win his fourth Olympia title? Did Greene lose his mind? Or was it just some huge publicity stunt, as his guru George Farris suggested? You can find the latest edition of Heavy Muscle Radio, along with any past episodes, under the radio tab on the homepage, exclusively at rxmuscle.com. We might finally have an explanation for the bizarre antics that we witnessed from Greene over this past Olympia weekend. In case you missed it, Greene was combative and repeatedly interrupted Phil Heath during the Meet the Olympians press conference. He aggressively prodded Heath on stage, and he pistol-whipped Heath with his long dreadlock braid hair. He even got nose-to-nose with the eventual champ in an awkward moment during prejudging. The entire situation seemed to baffle everyone in attendance. Everyone except for George Farris, who insists the onstage aggression was merely a publicity stunt dreamed up to bring more interest to the Olympia. In any event, perhaps Kai can use the footage from this weekend's Olympia spectacle as an audition tape to transition into a career in the WWE. Bodybuilding's most beloved figure has been a public icon since he started winning standout trophies back in the 70s and 80s. And when you bet an international celebrity for over 30 years, chances are you're going to inspire a pretty rabid fan base that has more than a few questionable characters. According to reports, Arnold is set to do a series of seminars throughout Europe, but there's one fan who really wants him to make an unplanned stop on the tour. The owner of an enormous military surplus store is making a bid for Arnold to come visit his business by producing what can only be described as a very entertaining commercial. Check it out.
Maybe enough to come by and say hello?
Arnold, we want you here!
And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by Iron Mag Labs, the most hardcore bodybuilding supplements on the market. Check out ironmaglabs.com today. And for full quotes and Muscle in the Morning bonus features, join Muscle in the Morning's official Facebook page. I'm your host, Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions. And make sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook.